Welcome in everybody. So good to be back on to Explain, and what a new and interesting song that is, some Bosa or boss music as I like to call it. So today we're going to be flying from Wales in the United Kingdom. We're going to be flying all the way across to some place called North Denes in Great Yarmouth in the East Coast, or on the East Coast. In terms of like flight planning, we can't really do a vaccine flight today, but that's no problem. What I'm going to do instead is I am going to hop onto it, and when I'm on, I'm going to see if I can get clearance, or maybe no need for it if there's no ATC online. So we'll do that. We'll see what's going on vaccine. Welcome in, by the way. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So we're going to go over to the aircraft, the Beechcraft Baron 5.8. I know some of you might have been expecting a different aircraft, but the 5.8 is perfect for UK touring, perfect for short flights like this. I said it was about 2 hours because I don't really know how long it'll take. Let me just put it in the chat actually. So welcome to the flight, standard for the stream really, just welcoming everybody. Yeah, we'll get started up. We'll get all the. Actually, let's just start properly. So what we do is start. Make sure the props have to be fully back. Even though people leave them fully forward, they're supposed to be fully back. This is going to be a chat-listed flight, and I do have my checklist with me. Real world checklist, by the way. I should really change the title. I'll change it when we're on autopilot. So today we're going to be a little bit of improv. We're going to make our way down there at our own accord, so we need to turn the fuel pumps on. Let's follow the checklist properly. I've not done this one for a while either. Parking brake is set, passenger brief, seatbelts, gear selector down. Propeller controls, okay, now we can turn the controls fully forward. Mixtures closed. Cowl flaps open. Fuel selectors were on. Yes, radio master, all the electrical stuff, circuit breakers are in. Prop sync, okay, prop sync should never come off apparently. Never forget that on the twin piston. Although I can imagine if you've got an engine failure, it might be worth turning it off then. Anyway, let's get the batteries and alternators switched on. You can see the compass there coming alive, probably aligned with the magnetic compass on the top. Battery master and bus voltage. So bus voltage is hidden down here. As long as we're getting 22 and above, that's alright. If it's only below, actually I've noticed, I don't know if it's part of the update, but it doesn't tend to drain the batteries easily nowadays. Bus voltage, anti-collision lights, that would be beacons. Oh sorry, the anti-collision lights will be the navigation lights, and the beacon light is of course the red one on the rear. 3 green lights on the gear. Propeller controls are high RPM. Mixture controls full rich. So I'm zoomed in a little bit so we can see what's going on. Throttles. So this is just if it's a cold start. You don't really need to do if it's a hot start. So cold start, what you do, you put them forward. I'll leave the panel lights on. You can put the fuel pumps on. Wait for it to reach peak flow. Turn the fuel pumps off and then bring them back to a suitable position. Since we're going to be starting both engines at once, there's never really any issues doing that. We might as well do it all together. So fuel boost, yeah, 900 RPM. Magneto to start. A bit of a slow start there. It's usually quicker than that. So yeah, about 900 to 1000 at rest. We want the pressure within 10 psi. That's usually really quick to get up with, so we gotta wait for. So what you do is you wait for 25 Celsius on the Baron's temperature gauge or oil temperature gauge before you can go over 1200 RPM. So we're safe to just push it up to maybe 1100 if we wanted to. I say about there is fine though. Gotta remember on grass today, so we'll have to warm up the engines properly. Alternator load check. Well, we can check that down here. The alternator's down. Not picking up much of a load down there, to be fair. Magnetos, alternators, resonanciations extinguished. Same procedure for the other engine. Good, we've done that. Okay, pre-check. So what we're going to do is going to stick these transponder to standby, and we're going to get onto the ATC. Again, if there isn't one, we might as well just stay on VATSIM anyway and fly it without a flight plan which is not really recommended. So we're Charlie, Golf Charlie, Foxtrot Tango Mike today. B58. So you notice here, pressurized Baron. That's new actually. That wasn't popping up before. So B58. This is not a pressurized one that we're in. So I can't go above. I say 9-10,000 feet would be the absolute max. 122.8. We'll stay tuned on that. Okay, pre-taxi. So see how quick it is. It's relatively simple. Now this is a brand new airfield. I think between the cones, as you can see, the airfield is very, very minimal. I think the cones are the runways. Now we are going to need flaps on that. Yes, it is. So it's between the cones. At least they've got cones there. So this is sort of like a camping site in Wales. You can see you got some caravans. And you got a helipad on there somewhere. You got a nice store here, 24 hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to set local pressure, which is 1015. Still relatively high up for Wales, and straight across England to the east coast. 015. Well, we can program it in. The problem is with this airport is we've got a flight plan. Okay, it has come up. So there's no ICAO for this airfield. It's generally called GB and then dash 0251. Hey, find us. Welcome in, my friend. So yeah, the airfield's got no ICAO, so it's simply a code. But now we've got the that's kind of like an ICAO from the X-Plane 12 thing. So it's obviously recognising that it's got one, but in real life it doesn't. So let's try this instead. So this might be how we get the SimBrief flight plan programs again on VATSIM. I'd rather have one in VATSIM and one to download than not to. So EG61. I'm going to EGSD today. Both relatively short airfields, to be fair. Small airfields. Yeah, so no departure recognised. I don't know what it's coming. It must be coming up with the nearest airfield to us. Yeah, it must be that one there that it's coming up with. Well, we're going to try and put our destination in anyway. So Echo. So we're sort of flying off the radar. So Echo Delta. Sierra Delta. Yeah, proper off the radar from Wales. Look across England, so it's not really recognising that as well. It's interesting. EGSD's not recognised. Very peculiar. So these are definitely this is definitely going to be tricky. Let's try and get it up on the chart. EGSD. At least if we got something in there. No, there's nothing coming up on there. I was going to say if it comes up, we could. EGSD is not recognised. I don't know. Mind blowing, isn't it? North Denes Airfield code. Maybe if we put it in capitals. No, this is tricky. We haven't even got charts, which means we're not going to be able to get there. Okay, well we'll do it. We'll guess where it is. We'll fly east, so we'll set our heading bug easterly, and we'll just fly that direction and the course as well. I know it's quite far till we get to the coast, so we'll be all right. And I'll use this map as well, because I'm sure it'll be on here somewhere. Look at that. We're not got much traffic in the area. We are on VATSIM, so we'll stay below. I was going to go up to 9,000. Let's try 9,000. Then we're back to the taxi checklist. So taxi lights on. Environmentals are checked. The ATIS information is checked. We're squawking. 7,000 standby. Fuel selectors. That's one step I forget a lot, is to put them on crossfeed before taxi. Yes, taxi light. All temperatures are yes, coming above 24 now. Awesome. So let's get taxiing. Need a lot of RPM it seems to get out of this space. It'd help if the chocks were gone. Need a lot of RPM to get off this space. We do the run up here. The run up takes a little bit of time as well. So fuel pumps are supposed to be off if it's outside temperatures above 32. Well, we know it's not, so we can probably have them on at this point. Flight instruments, let's check that. Ailerons, that's flight controls by the way, not flight instruments, but instruments are good as well. Flight instruments, engine instruments are good. Throttles 1500 RPM. Load meters looking good as well. Can't quite see the bus volts down at the bottom. Instrument air pressure checked. Now we check the magneto drop. So left side 50 and dropping barely 50 there. And it's interesting, you only check it once, not on different RPMs. Yeah, it's barely only dropped there, so we got some nice solid running engines today. Yes, magneto 1700. That should have been when I checked the magneto drop, not the 1500, so 1700 is more appropriate for it. Do it again, it's no bother. So yeah, big drop on that one, that's good. At least a more noticeable drop than 15. Still very little, so yeah, I was confident the engines won't have any issues today at all. So 1500 we checked. We checked the loads, we turn that off, we watch the rise there on the left hand side as it takes up power. On the left side to the right side, same thing. I suspect it's not at 50 yet because we're waiting for it to charge up. So we'll wait for that load and the alternator to charge a little bit, and then we'll reach the full 50 when it's off on either. Pitot heats, let's check. This is 2200 RPM required. Seems to be struggling on the grass a little bit. Struggling, yeah, it's struggling majorly. Let's get one notch of flaps. I thought the parking brake would have held it, but not today. Let's try it one more time. No. Still not doing it. Let's try manual brakes. Must just be the pot. No, it doesn't seem to want to do it. Anyway, we know the engines have started up well. There's no issues, we just can't do the 2200 RPM check on the grass. We don't want to use up all the runway trying to do it either, so let's get back on track. What do we need now? So we need landing lights, we got flaps, airspeeds, strobe, so all the lights on. We can turn the taxi lights off. Squawk, let's squawk 7000 with VFR today. Mixtures should be rich. Ice protection is required. Cabin doors latched. Air conditioner off. Okay, let's get going. Improvised flights. We don't really know where we're going. We're just going to make our way across England at the moment. How interesting. I've got no brakes supplied in yet. It's managing to hold the... Okay, the chocks are on. Oh, that's stupid, isn't it? So they seem to keep being set automatically. Anyway, let's get going. Full throttle. Just easing back on that yoke to take the pressure off. Very short runway by the look of it. It's a short takeoff today. Okay, pulling back. Slight rotation speed. Slightly lower than we wanted it. Positive rate climbs. Put the gear up. Try and maintain 83 there to maintain enough to clear the obstacles. Now we can accelerate now. Track the flaps. Landing lights are coming off. Fuel booster coming off. Looks like it's heading on the flight director so we can follow it. And we pitch for 120. Reduce that propeller down 2500. I think we'll climb up to 9,000 feet today. And we should have yaw damper on after takeoff too. Cow flaps closed. Put the fuel pumps back onto on rather than cross feed. As you can see, the speed sort of settles down about 130. Very bumpy though. So cruise, we don't worry about cruise till we're in it. That was pretty quick on the chat list, although I've done it before, so it's just as good. Let's go ahead and set the autopilot. So we set autopilot arm, we'll set vertical speed. Get it climbing up nice and high there. You see we're maintaining a pretty high climb rate, so it says on climb in terms of fuel there's not really anything to do. You only set the fuel mixture to the cruise setting when you're at obviously cruise level. Just wonder if we should stay below a certain altitude because of London. I think we can go over London at 9,000 if we're sort of going down. We're going north of it, aren't we? So we might be able to avoid it. Actually, to be fair, I do like to lean the mixture even before we got to cruise. I do it. I've done it many times. You see the CHT has gone quite high. That may be like a sign that we need to either, you know, open the cow flaps a little, which might be recommended to stop like a fire or something else. We'll just open a little bit just to let that heat out. And we're climbing a lot steeper now when we should be climbing at 120 or 130. Set the pitot heats on nice and early. see if I reduce the mixture, we should really lean it for peak mixture when we get up to cruise. As you can see there, I think the recommend is let me just check, so above 6,000 feet and above, which is kind of what we're looking for. Actually no, we're looking at 9,500 feet, RPM 2,500, which it is. We should have 16.5 gallons going through it, so I'm going to reduce it to 16.5 now. Usually you can get down to about 11 and that'll give you peak EGT. Cow flaps absolutely fine to be open for the time being, just so it doesn't overheat. Yeah, so 2,500 RPM, and then obviously the manifold pressure will be full forward, because since it's not pressurized, it will maintain that manifold pressure. The turbo edition, sorry, the turbo Baron will be able to maintain sufficient manifold pressure above a certain altitude. So as we approach 9,500, I'm going to reduce the vertical ascent rate. And we're going to prepare to level off, so it'll slow down the ascent and give us plenty of time to sort things out. So at this point we can mess around with some instruments and perhaps try and find our waypoint in the flight planner. There's 9,000. Let's go ahead and hit the altitude button. It makes the transition a lot smoother. And I think I'm going to save you all. I'm going to turn G-loaded camera off. Let me know if you think that's better. You can't feel the G-forces of the aircraft if you turn it off. So it's definitely a lot more stable, but it sort of makes it a bit too plain. I think just need that extra realism, don't we? EGSD is still not recognised at all, so and it wasn't recognised on the chart. I wonder if we can do it en route. So we departed GB 0251. Okay, it doesn't even recognise it on the airport, was it? I think we might be screwed, everybody. Anyway, there we are. We just left the Welsh area, we've just gone past Wrexham, and we're cruising along now. Going to be crossing Stoke-on-Trent, hopefully Derby and Nottingham, and then we're going Great Yarmouth. So we do have to take that sort of easterly turn, but we're well outside of London, I think, at this point. We're probably still classed as being in their airspace, but we don't need to talk to them for the time being. So I'll go ahead and just change our course so we're on track. I think last stream as well, when we flew to Iceland, went very well, so we'll do some more of those flights in the future and try and find the most challenging airports available. Going well too fast. What I am going to do is close the cow flaps, and I will cool down the CHT a little bit. Just don't drop below 150 is my advice. You should be fine. To be fair, we don't even need piezo heat. It's not exactly worse weather outside. It is near freezing, but it's not as bad as it could be if it was clouds. There is other traffic in the area as well. London Centre's online. We may have to contact them. I know they're usually busy, so it might be a case of disconnecting and just connecting as an observer. I think we should do that. Let's try and sort out the settings. So connect. Now I think on the observer mode no one can see you, so we should be alright that way. At least we're not going to be causing too much trouble in the airways. Incredible plane. I've said it many times before, but this is just the perfect touring plane for Britain, for anywhere really. You got the money, then and you want a touring plane, I actually recommend this over a Cessna. A lot faster and a lot more space in it. You got your own little bar in the back, but tons of storage space. Carries up to 6 people.
Manchester traffic, Tom Jet 5 Alpha Golf radio check. Anyone please? Yeah, I can make it up. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. For some reason my frequency changed for me. If you ever just spark you can go first. Thank you. Tom Jet 5 Alpha Golf, taking off on 23 there.
I'm searching now on the internet to try and find this airfield in on the east that we need. Try and get some more information about it. It's giving contradictory information. We may have the wrong guy CEO. This is a bit silly, isn't it? So I got the EGSD one yesterday. I know it's saying there's a Great Yarmouth North Denes heliport, which is not really where we want. We want the airfield, but I'm assuming it's in one place. So it's coming up EGSD. Let's try that. That would make sense since we're in England. I don't know why I didn't realise it before. EGSD. At least this will give us a reference. There it is. Thank God for that. Switch to navigation mode, GPS, and we should get back on track. So we found it. It's just for some reason I got the wrong ICAO. So we all make mistakes like that. And it should give us a flight time as well. As it's saying, oh, it's only saying 38 minutes. That's nothing. We'll be out from the west to the east coast in no time. Two hours 30 was a well overestimate, wasn't it? Right, so now if we search in here, that's so embarrassing, isn't it? EGSD, yes. Okay, great, success. It's got 4 runways, got the length 1100, 1400 feet. We definitely need to take the longer one, that's for sure. Either 09 or 27. As if we can give you the course. And of course no reference, no airfield maps whatsoever, that's fine. So we're programmed for runway 09. And hopefully there's something like an NDB there as well. Although to be fair, just didn't have the charts for it, so it probably won't have the arrival on here or the procedures. Yeah, so it's just a standard grass one by the look of it. Take us back on track. Notice how it's not turning erratically to get to it, it's just flying to the waypoint instead. There we go. And then we can pop this out, check the course to 096 and set that on the thing here. I'll set the heading as well to 090, that'll be the runway, so hopefully straight in at this point. If we do go above pressurisation, I did used to notice that it would pass out. Even if you got past to 11 or 12,000 it would start to pass out. But then I did a test where I flew past 11 and 12,000. I think I got up to like 15, 16,000 before it blacked out. So I don't know what the variable factors in it are, but the hypoxia is definitely not consistent. Obviously if you're flying that level you need supplemental oxygen, which we have on board thankfully. Yeah, we fly across England, so let's remember what this is before we fly it. So it's in East Midlands. We've got Nottingham somewhere here as well. Better chart actually on this one, isn't there? There you go, Derby and Nottingham. I'm going to step away and get a drink and be right back. That's so cool, isn't it? Surprise, surprise. I'm back, everybody. That there's just so many planes flying around at the moment. It's really realistic. It's certainly immersive. You've got one over there on the left. It feels like a live sky. It feels like we're in proper airspace. Plane shaking all over. I'm kind of tempted to just do a bit of messing around. I know we shouldn't, but you know, the amount of messing around I've done in the plane, testing its like limits. I found interesting things. The Baron can fly very, very slowly and still not stall. I've also found that it can handle very well even with one engine. So if we wanted, we could do some slow flight and then a stall test or something, or maybe even land on one engine. We're not exactly flying, you know, on a pre-fired flight plan. We're on VFR today, so we could practice our one engine failure procedures. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and slow down. So what I'm going to do is we'll wait till we get close. We'll wait till we get to the airfield, and then we'll initiate those procedures. And if anyone's flown a twin piston or either in real life or on the game, you may be aware of the procedures, but I watched a brilliant video online. The instructor gave like a really clear explanation of how to sort the engine out basically and control the aircraft, so I highly recommend, if you're interested in that stuff, to go ahead and watch it. Can't remember the name, you just have to search for multi-piston like engine failure procedures or something like that. There's plenty of them there. I've just done a quick search on YouTube myself. Okay, I did put the poll in chat. It's interesting, we got 50-50, so I've put Marvel Spider-Man for a playthrough, which looks super fun. But there's obviously things about it I'm not keen on. Jedi Fallen Order, never played a Star Wars game. I don't think I've ever played one, but I do like it. I do like the idea of being a Jedi, getting a lightsaber. And that's got 50%, so if anyone's coming in or if anyone's in here now and you want to watch one of them, then let me know. Just be aware though that Jedi Fallen Order is on sale at the moment. Spider-Man isn't. That may sway the decision. I admit there was a third option as well, but it's a brand new game and I think we should wait, or I should wait at least for a sale. It's Dying Light the Beast. I absolutely love the first one, but I haven't had the chance to play the second one, so it seems pointless jumping into the Beast before I've played the second one. Lean the EGT more. I'll show you what I was talking about. So 16.5 is recommended for cruise. If we just pull it down ever so slightly, you'll see the EGT, this little needle, is going to increase, which is good. There we go, so we've approached like peak EGT at this point, and then it drops again. So you can see we get about 12, just under 12 gallons there for peak EGT. That's pretty incredible. I've never managed to get it up to the top. I think once you have to be like super high up for it to lean the mixture effectively talking about that, we should rarely be on standard pressure as well. Should we ever got an ADF or something for this airfield? Doesn't seem to be anything. We maybe I'll just tune a separate one in. What's that? EGSD, that's Shipton. Not really any DMEs there though I can see. There's one here, so if we need something like this, that's the TACAN, but we need a DME in the area so we can track it. If we were to track this one, for example, that's the TACAN, but let's tune that to nav1, at least that'll pop up then on the thing. And we can see the distance to it. I'll give it our accurate speeds. We are actually over speeding at the moment. Surprising. insane crosswind today. What have we got? We got 32 knots there. 37. I mean, it's almost a tailwind. We just need to blow it a little bit more east, and then we'll get that tailwind we need. That's probably why we're going so fast. We're having to pitch into the wind quite steeply. Anyway, there's the airfield somewhere there. EGSD. I'm assuming it's on the coast. Let's try and clear this up. Actually, how do we clear the map up? Questions that Laminar research need to get sorted, I think, and answered. Norwich is there. If anyone obviously been to England, you might be familiar with all these cities. They've got an NDB. They've got, by the look of it, a better airfield. It might even be worth going to Norwich instead. Norfolk Showground, cool. Hevel, Keswick, Stoke Holy Cross masts. There's Great Yarmouth, there it is, right on the coast. So let's have a look at the airfield from here. So yeah, it's definitely going to have to be the longer runway. And they've got a QNH1016, transition level is 3,000 feet, /4040. You see it's FISO, class airspace is G. 0 feet, so it's dead flat on the ground, this. Perfect. Let's go ahead and pre-select. Oh no, we can't. It's going to say pre-select the altimeters. Yeah, and absolutely nothing on the airfield for approach, so we'll just have to make do with the Garmin 550, which is this device down here. Oh, sorry, not the 550, the 530.
Traffic Golf Bravo Echo Mike Charlie, Cessna 172, will be taxiing into a hold for runway 18, London.
I'd say we're in range, everybody. We're only 13 minutes out. That gives us plenty of time to do our... I'm going to do an engine failure procedure, actually. We may do an engine failure landing. So I'll change the title to do... I don't know, engine failure procedures. And then the route. Can't fit it in though. Maybe in the second part. So we'll do that, we'll get it into the airfield. Follow the checklist still. There we go. So we're in range, I think, just about. We've got the ABOS and ATIS information. I'm going to double check it. It's always good to be 100% on the ball. So 1016. Everybody keep that in mind. In fact, what I'll do is I'll tune on here. You don't have to worry about remembering it. Can we change it on there? No, we can't. So altimeter is set. Ice protection. So we did turn the ice protection off. It's still relatively. It's still above 0 degrees. So it's still not at 0. Was the point I'd worry, because that's when ice will form. Cow flaps, we've closed them as required. The CHT's actually cooled down nicely, which is good. Mixtures, rich, yes, let's go ahead and do that. So this will reduce the EGT. Engine temperatures. I've never had any problems with the engine temps on this aircraft. Fuel selectors on. Fuel boost pumps are off. Landing lights. Okay, we don't really need the light. I'm not going to stick the landing lights on just yet. That's the in-range checklist, and then you have like a before landing checklist, which is the technically should be done before you enter downwind, according to the checklist anyway. So well, it says before pattern entry and before midfield downwind, each subsequent land approach, and of course that has not GUMPS checks. It's got something very similar, but it's not called GUMPS on it. So I'm going to go up here to iOS. The question is, if we fail it, well, I guess if we fail it properly, we won't be able to recover it. So do we? I think we should just fail it manually, and then we'll see how we go. So, no, you know what I'm like. I like a challenge. I think we're within range now to be able to do it. Let's go down to failures. And we should go engine 1 failure, so we keep it on the left side. Mean time till failure, 1 minute. Okay, we're about to do this. So the checklist has failed already. So if props fully forward, mixtures fully forward, manifold pressure fully forward. We got the dead leg. We should really just engage the autopilot. I'm going to keep it on so we see we're flying. So we've got the dead leg. Then we reduce the mixture on the left engine, the propeller to idle, and the manifold pressure to 0 as well. We're going to cut the fuel off. So we've done the slap leg test. We're going to secure the engine now. Turn off the left alternators and magnetos, and that's about it. And then we got the fuel turned off, so that's all sorted. And now what you can do is maintain speed at 100, and I think it's 105 here. So we've got a pitch for blue line. As long as we're above blue line, we're all right. As you can see here, we're descending down. If you ever have any trouble with being too fast and yawing too much, then you need to reduce the manifold pressure. So we need to descend, since we don't have to descend just yet, but we need to maintain blue line at the minimum. And what we do is apparently pitch or bank 5 degrees into the working engine, I believe it is. If we go the other way, it will not be level flight or something like that. I can't quite remember that part, but it is what it is. It's been a while since I've done it. As you can see, it's handling very, very well. I don't feel afraid at all. I don't feel like we'll crash. Not like a 747 anyway. Just double check we have got the fuel off. Here we have. I suppose we could do cross feed to the other engine, that might help. Let's get down here, let's get down to about 5,000 feet. Now if we reduce the propeller, we'll probably lose speed rapidly. Or we should. I'd like to turn prop sync off if we got an engine failure. You wouldn't want it synced to the bad engine. Speed's increasing, that's good. So we'll reduce it to about 2100 on the propeller. Give it that manifold pressure nice and high. So 8 minutes. And technically we could turn the autopilot on at this point. Not recommended, should always be in manual control I think when there's an engine problem. As you can see, it's not going to keep descending unless we do it manually. And to make the job a bit easy, we have in fact got rudder trim as well, so we can trim that slightly to the right. Find us, I just got your message. Do you know why it's not possible to follow AF1 on FR24? I mean, probably just security reasons. You know, they don't want anyone knowing the precise location of the president's aircraft. I'm assuming you mean Air Force One as well. Yeah, if people know, they can track him down and potentially cause problems. Either that or they don't have a transponder, but I'm sure they would. It's actually surprising we're maintaining over 150 CHT there, which is good. I suspect that high manifold pressure does that. Propeller setting doesn't really have much to do with it. As you can see, we've gone past the waypoint we set, so we can turn that off now. So we're not going to Sierra Hotel, we're going to Sierra Delta. It's the next one, Great Yarmouth in the east. And there's the coast, everybody. So we're going to make it well and truly without any issues. I'm going to make it interesting. I'm just going to keep the autopilot off. It's just better to fly it manually, and we'll pitch down ourselves. Okay, something's going wrong with the right engine now. I think we got a prop runaway. Did not expect that at all. Engine 1 failure, but something's going wrong with the right. Let's put the propeller fully forward. I have no idea what's happened. How what? There's no fuel flow in that. Why no? If we got an engine, we got no fuel left. We've got no fuel left. How is that possible? Right. Well, I thought we had enough fuel. We got multi-engine failure now, so a test of a single engine failure has literally turned into a dual engine failure because there's no fuel. Brilliant. And there's the airfield right ahead, so hopefully we can get down in time. Oh god, this is making it certainly more difficult. We're going to secure the engines anyway. Might as well reduce everything to idle. Feathering the props. Keep that on off. We're going to turn the alternators off. We'll turn everything else off when we get down lower, like the batteries and things. ADF comes off now. So you can see pitching the blue line. 5 minutes. I don't know if we're going to make it or not. No, we're not going to make it. How do we refuel? I'm going to refill one engine and that's it. I've blown a tyre. I'm not even on the ground. I'm not on the ground anyway. I'm not fit. The second engine can't fail because we're doing the practice on the left one. So I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know about the fuel. Maybe we didn't refuel. My fault. But there's just me on board, so we can do what we like, I guess. Anyway, we can reignite the right side's alternator there. Keeping that propeller fully forward. Let's see, landing lights on. Yes, thanks Travelbot for that information. To track the Air Force One, you need to use ADS-B exchange. To be fair, I've never heard of that either. I'm going to try and find, actually, we should fly as Air Force One on the channel. I'm going to try and find a livery for the 747 we've got of Air Force One, and then we can use it. Bloody hell. Just looking at that exchange thing, there's absolutely millions of aircraft on it. Anyway, for anyone who's just joined, we're one engine down. We've completed the engine security procedures. We're trying to maintain above blue line, but we're well above it, so we should have no issues landing. EGSD. I'm looking out for an airfield. I got a feeling there's nothing. There's no solid, like, grass runway to land on. It's probably just a bunch of dirt, isn't it? Now, in a situation like this, you don't want to be lowering your flaps at all until you're, on final. Until you're established on the runways at least maybe 2 or 3 nautical miles at the absolute most. So we can safely reduce the manifold pressure, just pitch down. We want to maintain 1,000. So we should be able to come straight in there for 09. And of course adjusting the course as required. I'm going to drop the gear. This is where we'll lose loads of speed. As long as we're above the 105 line, we're good. No visual on the airfield yet. Yeah, okay, I have visual, brilliant. Maybe the gear is down slightly early, that's my fault. Now the only time you should be below blue line is when you're on final, when you're coming down to land. When you're about to land I should say, so you don't really want to be below it before. As you can see, manifold pressure is full. If we start to lose control of our ailerons, which is almost happening, then we need to reduce that manifold pressure again. Otherwise we risk a stall. Which is really easy because the chord line changes when you're in a single engine operation on a multi-engine aircraft. You see we're a little bit low. We have a little bit of excess speed there to work with. Put one notch of flaps, we're within the range to do so. You see speed is jumping all over. There we go. Speed is all over the place, isn't it? Let's have a strong wind coming in from the side there. Reduce that manifold pressure down. Now we can pitch. We can go below blue line. We can probably idle the engine. It's going to be difficult to stop. 09. There we go. Full brake. Thank God the runway was slightly longer than I thought it was. Okay, awesome. That's literally it. As you can see, the aircraft handles really well, so we're going to stick the taxi lights on. We'll do the after landing checklist. Flaps are up. Let's open up the cow flaps. Transponder to standby. Landing taxi lights. The landing lights are off, taxi lights on. Radar standby, eyes protection off. Heater, so it says follow procedures for heater, but in this aircraft they're not functional. Technically we should really land as an emergency and turn all the avionics and things off just in case we crash, but we managed without it, so we're going to taxi down. Looks like a nice little place here. We're going to taxi whatever that taxiway is there to one of those spaces. As you can see from the trim, we didn't really need too much trim there either. Okay, looks like we are struggling to get off the grass a little bit, even with full power on. Yeah, so just go around in circles I think at this point. You know what, let's just park there, I don't think anyone's going to mind. They are beautiful houses, nice little cottages and seaside town stuff. Technically we're off the runway, so we're all good. So let's get shut down. Parking brake is set, throttles 1000 RPM on the functional engine. Navigation, so all the lights off, avionics off. Mixtures to off as well, and we do the fuel cut off on it. Magnetos, both off. Alternators is off. Battery masters off. Vent window, hubs time. So the only thing you leave on in terms of light is the beacon, although you know you can turn it off as well to give a full shutdown. I'm going to reduce both props and everything else to idle for the next people because we need to get maintenance in the aircraft at the moment. So battery, everything's off. That's it, sorted. It's relatively easy, and we're going to chalk up today and leave the plane like that. I think that was a really good flight. Nice little cross country there in the United Kingdom. Thank you for everyone for joining me. It's been a strange one. I did put a poll in the chat for Marvel or Jedi Fallen Order, but I don't know. I think Marvel Spider-Man just slightly wins. I'll have to wait and see. It'll be on probably on the 9th, 10th, whenever the October stream starts. Let me just have a look at the calendar. So yeah, it might be the 10th of October that we start one of those games. So hopefully I'll see you then. Everyone having a good day. Sorry for this. This has been a short one. I'll come back on the next one. We'll do an extra long flight. Take care.